Hi there. So we're gonna start in a comfortable seated posture. So whatever that means to you, on a sit upon or with your sit bones on the floor, just nestling into the sit bones, letting the spine be long and relaxed at the same time. Just letting the knees, no sensation there. If you need to place a block underneath both of them or one, feel free to take the time to do that. How are you today? I'm looking forward to this. We're going to talk about up dog. So let's do a little bit of centering, just checking in with yourself. And you can have the hands wherever they're comfortable. I need to ground a little bit, so my palms are facing down on my legs, which kind of helps that to happen. Let your eyes close if you'd like, and come to your breath. Check in with your natural breath. Notice if there are areas in the body that feel maybe a little tense, or that the breath isn't flowing to those areas. See if you can bring a little openness there, a little relaxation and space. And start to deepen your next inhale. Hold it in and exhale through the mouth. Another one like that. Hold it in, exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Hold for as long as you'd like. As you're ready, exhale through the mouth. Good. Start by just dropping the chin in towards the chest. Get a nice stretch through the back of the neck. Raise your head up and take one ear towards one shoulder. Draw the chin into the chest, raise the head up, and then on over to the other side. Feel the natural lengthening of the breath. Draw the chin into the chest, raise the head up. We're going to hook your left hand behind the right arm. So if that's comfortable to do, or you can just place the hand on the lower back. Hook the elbow if that feels okay. And then from here, we're going to look over your right shoulder. You may feel a nice stretch on the left side of the neck. There's not too much tension there, so ease off a little bit if it feels strained. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And then draw the chin in just slightly until you feel the stretch in the neck there. Feel free to just swallow. Sometimes that helps to relax the muscles. Good. From here, just draw the chin into the chest, raise the head up, release the arm, shake it out, and then your right hand behind the back on the low back, or hook the elbow. The other hand's just resting on the floor if it reaches, or towards the floor. Good. And then from here, looking out over your left shoulder, backing away if it feels like there's some resistance there. It should feel like a very nice, easy warm-up stretch. Big breath, in and out. And then tuck the chin slightly until you feel the stretch. Pause there for your breath. Draw the chin into the chest, raise the head up, release that arm, take the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then some torso circles, just warming up the core a little. You can use your hands for support as you go from side to side. We're going a little bit back and forward as well. Just rolling. Notice the breath, or maybe the tendency to hold it. Good. And then switch directions. Really let the spine get some mobility here. Good. Come back to center, raise one arm up, and then exhale, a little side stretch. Inhale and exhale, lower the arm. Inhale the other arm up. Exhale, over to the other side. Good. Inhale and exhale. Take one hand outside the opposite knee and the other hand behind you. Nice tall spine as you inhale. A little gentle twist as you exhale. Face forward and then go to the other side. Inhale. Nice tall spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Inhale and then exhale. Belly pulls in just slightly. Good. And then release that. So we're going to extend the legs out in front of you. Just do a little warm up for the arms to prepare for upward facing dog without all the pressure on your arms. So your fingers are going to be spread wide, and you're going to make sure you're really rooting into your all 10 knuckle mounds and the tips of the fingers too. So a lot of contact on the floor because that's mainly what's holding you up in upward facing dog, and the tops of the feet. So roll the shoulder blades onto the back and press the hands into the floor. Hug the elbows kind of in towards the waist. And be careful not to hyperextend. So a lot of times in upward facing dog, there's a tendency to really hyperextend through the arms, and that's not good for the elbow joint with all that pressure on the arms. So just a minuscule bend there, and still hugging the shoulders in. Shoulder blades on the back are hugging in as well as you do this. And then the chest opens automatically as you hug the shoulders in. The gaze is going to be able to go forward or lifting the chin, not dropping back, but a lift, and you have some integrity in the back of the neck too. Good, just shake that out. Let's try it one more time. Spread the fingers, press down into the hands, roll the shoulder blades onto the back. Open the chest as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Nice deep inhale, open chest, and exhale, release it. Shake out the arms. Wonderful. So from here, let's move into, let's take a brief child's pose and just settle in there with the breath. Another good place to check in. And then walk the hands. You can even lift up the torso a little bit and lay the torso on your leg that you're kind of going towards to get another side stretch. Good. Come through center and then on over to the other side. Deep breaths here. And then come back to center. Curl the toes under, walk the hands forward. A little puppy pose to reach back through the tailbone. Feel a nice stretch through the shoulders. And then as you're ready, up into downward facing dog. Feel free to stay in puppy pose if you're not ready to come up yet. If you're in down dog, just walk out your dog a little, warming up the legs. And then bend both knees, take the hips back, and then shoulders forward over the wrists. Just warming up the spine and the legs and the arms and the shoulders. And this can be a little movement or a big movement, just depends on how you feel right now. Good. And then from here, let's walk the feet up to the top of your mat. Take the feet nice and wide. We'll do our ragdoll, forward fold, taking opposite elbows or letting your hands hang. Just moving the head and the shoulders, bending the knees as much as you need to maybe let the torso rest on the thighs. Get that nice hang through the spine, reversing the direction of the spine. It feels so good. Big deep breath. Nice. From here, if your blocks are there, you can use those if you don't need to, but you can keep the knees bent. We're gonna, this time, you can also bring the hands to the legs. We're gonna straighten the spine a little bit. And then bend the knees. We're gonna use the legs, the belly drawing in to come up with a straight spine. Inhale. And exhale, hands down by your sides, mountain pose. You can bring the feet more towards hip distance apart if you'd like to. Just take a moment in mountain. Take a couple breaths. Nice strong legs. Inhale, float the arms up overhead. Look up if that feels good. And then as you exhale, fold forward into your forward fold. From here, we're going to take the left leg back and a lunge. Bring your left hand to the floor and raise your right arm up. Good. And then take circles with the arm. And then the other direction. And then place the hand down, bring the back knee down, and you can release that foot. Good. So this is your choice of, how you're feeling in your legs, especially the stretch in that back leg. You don't want it to necessarily be much of a stretch here. As we take the arms up, you want to feel nice and grounded. Front leg, lifting the arms up and the gaze, belly draws in, tailbone heavy, inhale. And then exhale, lower the hands to the floor. Now we can get a little stretch here. You can take the front foot off to the side, both hands inside, and just pausing here. Hands can be on the blocks if that makes it a little bit easier. And let's go forward and back to stretch the legs a little bit, getting into the hamstrings. Asking them to be nice and strong as we go into our upward facing dog. Good. One more time, forward and back. And moving the blocks out of the way. Let's go back into child's pose briefly. You can go right into down dog if you want to. Puppy pose. Breath there. And if you're not already there, downward facing dog. And one full breath there, inhaling, take your time. And exhale. Pulling the hips back. We'll walk up to the top of the mat. Feet hip distance apart this time. Hands to the blocks or your legs. Halfway up, bend the knees a little bit here. So you're using the legs to come all the way up. Inhale and exhale. Good. Other side, inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. This time, the right leg goes back into your lunge. Placing the right hand on the floor, right under the shoulder. Left arm lifts. You can keep the gaze down depending on how your neck feels, and nice big circles with your arm. Good. 3 in both directions. Good. And then bring that back knee down. You can back up the hips a little here. Nice strong foundation with the legs. Inhale, float the arms up overhead, lifting through the sternum, lengthening down through the tailbone. Inhale and exhale. Move that foot over to the side. Bring the blocks in if you're using them. The side might be a little different. And coming forward, making sure the knee's over the front ankle. And you can going forward and back. If that knee that is on the ground is a little tender, if you're on a hardwood floor, you can double up the mat so that if you have any tenderness there, you can support it. Good. Coming forward, hands on the mat. Let's go right back into a downward facing dog. And then come forward into plank, and feel free to bend the knees here. Keep the toes curled under. Good. Fingers spread wide. And elbows are gonna hug in as you resist the floor, as you come all the way down. Good. So I'm gonna give you a modified posture to do if upward facing dog doesn't feel like the right thing for you today. This version of locust posture is gonna really help to build the strength in your body that you need to do upward facing dog. It's my favorite back bend. Sometimes I don't do upward facing dog because it's just too much for my lower back. So you can start by bringing the hands by the rib cage, the low part of the rib cage. Hug your elbows in. Look down at the mat so that your neck is more neutral. And then lift the feet and the knees up off of the floor. Feet are about hip distance apart. And then lift the hands away from the floor. So this is one version. There's so many versions of what you would like to do with your arms or your hands. You can interlace the fingers. So whatever feels good there. The main thing is that the neck stays long. Good. Release that. And you can rest here for a moment. Bring your head to your hands if you want to make a pillow with your hands. Bend your knees and take your feet side to side. Just windshield wiper your feet. This is kind of a great massage for the thighs. Good. Feel free to stay there as I talk you through this. I'm just going to do the prep for upward facing dog. So again, hands are real close to the rib cage, so not way out. We really want to keep everything in to harness the whole upper back and the arms. Good. The tops of the feet are on the ground and the legs are very active. So knees might be pulling away. You may decide to do up dog with the knees on the floor, and that's totally fine. But knees are lifting, elbows are hugging in, your feet are hip distance apart. There's a little bit of energy in the belly drawing towards the spine. So just a lot of strength in the whole body. So when you're ready, hug elbows in, good, shoulders down away from the ears, press into the hands, lifting up Shoulder blades active on the back, hugging in. Gaze can be forward or up. Take a breath or two there. As you're ready, drop the knees and lower down. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your head to the other side. Good. Bend your knees and windshield wiper your feet. Good. From here, curl the toes under. Bring your elbows so they're right underneath your shoulders. And then lift up the hips, lift up the belly, a low plank. Just kind of neutralizing the spine so the tailbone is long. Bend the knees to the floor, walk your knees in, and go ahead and take a child's pose. So instead of the knees being really wide in this child's pose, sometimes when I've done a back bend, it feels good to have the knees more hip distance apart or even a little closer so that the belly has a little support in the back, has some support. Breathe into your back, especially the low back. Pause. As you're ready, coming back up to a downward facing dog. So from here, you can take one big step up to the top of the mat, little steps. If you'd like to hop, you can do that. Bend your knees, look forward, and maybe just even little hops. Have a little fun with it. Good. Good. Round the spine, forward fold. Knees can stay bent if they need to be. Now come up through that nice long spine. Inhale, float the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring hands to your heart center. Mountain pose. Pausing there. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine with the hands on the legs, and then step back to your downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and lower the left heel. So railroad track feet as you come up into your warrior one. Shoulders away from the ears. Find your breath. Find your nice strong legs, heavy tailbone. And then take your left arm forward and your right arm back for a little twist. You can stay there. If your right hand can find the outside of that back leg, you can lift the arm up. A little stretch for the chest. And then back into that twist. Swing your right arm down and open up into warrior two. Take a breath there, or two. And then bring the elbow to the leg, the hand to a block if you'd like to, coming into your extended side angle pose, using a little tiny bit of pressure between the arm and the leg. Nice big stretch. Good, and then from here, lower the hand, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Knees down if you like, and then lower all the way down. And then from here, you can do your locust posture if you'd like to. Walk the hands in real close. Hug the elbows in. Spread the fingers wide, nice and long through the neck. Good. Legs active as you press up into your upward facing dog. Deep breaths. Strong legs, strong arms. Exhale as you're ready. Coming down. Good. From here, elbows underneath the shoulders. Find a little low plank. Bend the knees down. Rest back in child's pose. Good. Stretch forward and back into puppy. As you're ready, coming back up to downward facing dog. Left foot comes forward this time and lower the right heel. Railroad track feet, nice and wide. Inhale, arms come up. Warrior one. Reaching down through the back, outside edge of the back foot. And take the right arm forward, left arm back. Stay there if you'd like, or hook the left arm outside of the right leg, lifting the right arm up. A little bit of a twist. Good. And then from here, open up into warrior two. Gaze out over the front fingertips. Reach forward, elbow to the leg, hand to a block or to the floor. Extended side angle pose. Exhale the hand down. You can bring that back knee down. Let's come into a downward facing dog. Another opportunity for your up dog. So come into plank, knees down, shoulders on the back, and hug the elbows in as you slowly lower down, lifting to your locust if you'd like to. Placing the palms real close, elbows hugging in, tops of the feet on the floor, long neck, belly pulls in gently. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press up, shoulder blades squeeze, chest opens, gaze forward. Take a couple breaths there as you are ready. Lower all the way down. Good. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest your head. Windshield wiper your feet side to side. Good. From here, we're going to lift and just kind of snake yourself up into a child's pose. I'm going to take my hands so they're back by my feet and just let my spine drape over the legs. And then bring the hands forward and press up. Let's come into and do some seated postures first. Kind of lengthening the back a little bit by using the belly. Let's go into a modified boat pose. So leaning back, you're kind of between the tailbone and the sit bones. Feet can be hip distance apart. Draw the belly in. You can stay here by holding on to the backs of the thighs, or you can take the hands forward parallel with the shins. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead and come onto your back. Just pausing here. And turn your head side to side. Take the legs up and the hands, arms, circle. That was a lot for the feet and the hands. So give them a little break. You can kind of shake out your arms and your legs a little bit. Feels good. And then bring the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around the legs. That wrap can go around the shins or the hamstrings. Roll side to side. Let your head roll with you. Good. Bring the feet down. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath your back. Your feet are about hip distance apart. And just take a brief bridge pose. So pressing into the feet, lifting the hips. You can have the hands on the mat, pressing down, or walk the shoulders in a little bit more, interlacing the fingers. Back of the head pressing gently into the floor, just not completely collapsing through that neck. And release that. And wiggle it out. One more thing that I'd like to do is draw the knees in and get yourself into like a little ball. So pulling the belly in, doing a little cat spine, lifting the tailbone, drawing the nose towards your knees. Inhale and exhale, lower down. Let's go ahead again and just go side to side. And you can take your knees and like you're drawing a circle with your lower back on the mat. So a little massage for your lower back, and then switch directions. So I'd like to do something a little bit different with our Shavasana today. So let's set up, and if you're ready to go into Shavasana and you need to be done, feel free to just go ahead and set up into that. But I'd like to show you a variation with the legs up on a chair. So I've grabbed a dining room chair. Any chair will work, your couch will work. If you want to just place pillows underneath your knees, that will work as well. So just finding a nice support. The main thing is you don't want to have the backs of the knees so close to the chair that you're kind of cutting off circulation. So just a little space between the chair and the knees. And your knees are a little wider than hip distance apart. Just let them get nice and floppy there. Make sure you're not holding tension in the neck. So this is a very nice option because of the release in the low spine after back bends. The shoulders are tucked up underneath you. Let your eyes close. The hands are away from the body. Palms facing up. Relax your belly. Relax your neck. Soften and melt. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Namaste.